So in the last Docker virtualization and container. See, so far what we have discussed is we have completed the Docker introduction, we have completed the Docker installation, we have also discussed today about Docker. And today we are going to understand about Docker commands, and we are also going to understand about Docker file, how to write the Docker file, and also we are going to see how to push the images to the Docker registry and how we pull the image also. So these things we discuss as part of the today's session. So as part of the Docker first discussion, I have given uh, an introduction with respect to Docker, like why it is and what is the problem without the Docker, without using containerization platform. Next, I discussed about what is Docker. Then yesterday we got to know about what is virtualization, containerization, and this is the yesterday's topic. There we have discussed about virtualization means you are going to install one hypervisor software, one virtualization software which can virtualize. So then coming to the point, this is the point told in the last session regarding virtualization, and this is the containerization. Containers are lightweight when compared with the virtual machines, because virtual machines, if you create multiple virtual machines, each virtual machine is going to have its own operating system that is called guest operating system. And because of this guest operating system, the system boot will be very slow. The system can boot very slow. And we have discussed in the last session saying that if you have multiple virtual machines created through this hypervisor software, then boot up will take a lot of time. And since the virtualization is increasing the burden on the system, because each virtual machine has a self-contained computer, and and you are aware that yes, each virtual machine is occupied with some CPU, some RAM, and some disk. So virtualization will increase the load on the physical server and decrease performance. These are the things I have given in the last session, and coming to today's session, we are going to look into it, but actually the issue is that I have right now. Okay, right now I don't power. I am just running it through on mobile internet. Okay, here facing an issue with the power, and hope I'll try to share once again. I'm trying to share. You can. Okay, you can see this. Okay, now let's see. Now let's see, maybe you can able to see my screen now. So yesterday we got to know about this Docker architecture. In the Docker architecture, there are mainly three components. In that I told one is a Docker client, the second one is a Docker host, and third one is a Docker registry. And I have given a diagram in that we have discussed about how the flow will be. This is the Docker client, this is a Docker host, and this is a Docker registry. And we also have discussed like what are the steps here whenever you execute a Docker, when you issue some command from Docker client means it's your command prompt. Docker client is nothing but your command prompt only. And when you issue some Docker command from this Docker client, in the behind the screen, the request goes to a REST API that is also in this machine only in which you have installed the Docker software. Okay, now it's going to connect with the Docker daemon. Docker daemon is a part of the Docker engine, which is an application, Docker daemon application, which is going to execute like a background thread. It is one application, Docker daemon application. And this application is going to first check whether the image is available in the local cache or not. If the image is not available here, it is going to a Docker registry, which is a publicly available public registry where the images are available. It's a central registry where all the public images are available over there. This Docker daemon application is going to pull the image from registry and also will keep it in the image cache, and then it is going to run the image so that container is created. So this is how Docker architecture is going to work. And this is what already we have discussed in the last session. Now coming to today's session, after once this Docker architecture is completed, now you have to learn some Docker commands. We have already installed Docker desktop. Docker software is ready in our computer. What is the next step that we need to do is we are supposed to start the Docker engine. As I said yesterday, you just start the Docker desktop application, then automatically Docker engine will start. Once a Docker engine is started, you can see in the system tray of icons. In this system tray of icons, you can able to see that there is a Docker desktop running. There is a Docker desktop running. You will get this message. Now, once the Docker is available in our machine, now we should continue. We will move forward to understand some Docker commands. As per our workshop agenda, we are going to some commands, and we are also going to understand about how to write a Docker file and what are the instructions that we are going to write in the Docker file in a step-by-step. Okay, so these two things that we want to discuss in the session today, I will try to explain you that. First, we are going to understand about some Docker commands. See, first Docker engine is running. First Docker. Now we are going to play with some Docker commands. Let us start writing some Docker commands. Docker commands. So in this Docker commands, first, if you want to display the images that are available locally in your machine on this Docker host, or the images which are available in the Docker cache, in the image cache of the local machine, then there is a command called Docker images. So first now we are going to discuss about some of the Docker commands. And once yesterday we have even executed one command to run hello world application. So it is pulling the hello world image and then it is executing that image. So then Docker container is created. I have shown you some of the statements that are displayed by hello world image. Now let's see, for example, what I'm trying to do here. I'll open command prompt. Now I have opened command prompt. Now this command prompt acts like a Docker client, and a Docker query is running. That is called Docker engine is running. So we have installed the Docker desktop software. One Docker desktop software, then Docker is installed on your computer. Once Docker is installed on your computer, you run the Docker desktop application, so the Docker engine is started. The Docker is started. Now, this command prompt is going to act like. Now, this command prompt is going to act like. The first command, just to see whether Docker is installed. To see whether Docker is installed or not, then you can use a command called Docker version. This is a command will show the Docker version information. If you are getting this version information like a client instance server information, because Docker follows client server architecture, so then we can say that Docker is installed on your computer. The first command is Docker version. It will show the Docker version information. The command is Docker space version. Docker space version. That is a command. Okay, let's start working on. Let's start working on. Okay. Look at this. Look at this. See, as I said, here I'm pasting. Okay, power request. The power will resume in 1-2 minutes. For this 1-2 minutes, I'm using the mobile internet. So there may be some lagging. There may be some voice break may happen. Okay. Done. But just wait for 1-2 minutes. Then you can able to get with it. Yeah. Okay. Now I think I can able to continue now. So now there is a version Docker space version. This is the command, and this command will tell you whether Docker is successfully installed and Docker is running or not. It will tell you the information about the Docker. Okay, nothing but the client information, the server information. So today we are going to play with some Docker commands, and once you get some information about the Docker commands, so then next I'm going to talk about Docker file creation. What are the instructions to write in the Docker file? So those things I'll be explaining. Okay, let's start working. Let's start working. See here, the first command. The first command is you want to display the Docker information. Display the Docker information. Display the Docker information. Nothing but Docker version information. Better display the Docker version information. And to display the Docker version information, the command that you need to use is Docker. The command you have to use is Docker version. Docker version. So I'm typing the command Docker version. Okay, of course, you are executing from command prompt. It may be like C drive or D drive, whatever it is, Docker space version. Now this will show the Docker version information. The command is Docker version. Next. Next. Now you want to see what are the images which are available in the image cache. Locally stored images. You want to list out all the locally stored images. Then there is a command called Docker images. There is a command Docker images. Now yesterday we have pulled this image called a Docker hello world image. Yesterday this image that we pulled it, that is called, we have executed one image called hello world. Actually it is not there in my computer. So it is loaded or taken from the Docker registry, the public image from the Docker registry. And once image is downloaded into my local machine, then that image is executed, so that container is created, and that container has executed one hello world application, and that container has shown me some response. So what is the command that will show us list of the Docker images available on our local system? So further there is a command available called Docker images. So now we want to display list of Docker images, display the list of images that are available locally on this machine. Display the list of locally stored images, better word, locally stored images. Nothing but they are available in the image cache. The command is Docker images. The command is Docker images. Okay. Now, for example, you want to only pull the image, but you do not want to run the image. If you want to run the image, then Docker run is a command, so that container is created. But only you want to pull the image, but you do not want to only download the image from the Docker registry, but you do not want to run that image. Only just you want to pull it. Okay. For example, I want to pull one image from Docker registry. So I'm using a command like this now, Docker pull Ubuntu. Ubuntu is one Linux player operating system. We have a Docker image for that. Now, when I say Docker pull Ubuntu, now this image will be pulled. Only the image is pulled from the Docker hub, but the image is not executed. Okay, right. For example, if I say Docker pull Tomcat, then Tomcat will be pulled but not executed. Only Tomcat will be pulled. Okay, we have the images publicly in the Docker registry. There are many publicly available images are available. So that public registry name is called hub.docker.com. You open hub.docker.com. This is the Docker Hub container images. And here you can search in the Docker Hub for what images that you are searching for. Okay. And everyone, first you have to create one account in the Docker Hub. This is called Docker registry. In this registry, there are many images are available, and you can search for the image and you can able to pull it. And suppose if you want to push your image and you want to store it in the Docker Hub, in the Docker registry, and so that you can pull into some other machine. So for that, you should create one account so that you can pull your images into your account, and you can download or pull the images from your account into some other machine, and you can execute there without installing any softwares. So for that, you need to have an account. So everyone create one account in the Docker Hub, hub.docker.com. This is called Docker registry. Docker registry. If you have an account, you can directly sign in. For example, I have created a new account. I'm going to sign in. I'm going to sign in with my username and password. I'm going to sign in with my username and password. First you sign up for the account, and once account is created, now you can able to sign in. Okay, right? Now, this is my hub, but right now I have not inserted or I have not pushed any images. I have newly created for you to show the demo, but there are many available images are available. So suppose if you type there, okay, if you type there, for example, Tomcat, Docker official image, okay, Tomcat official image. Now you can see Tomcat, Apache Tomcat image is available. Okay, it has already 500 million plus downloads for this image, Docker image, Tomcat, right? So if I say Docker pull Tomcat, Tomcat will be pulled from this registry. And if I type, for example, Ubuntu, and say, for example, I want Docker official image, for Ubuntu. We can search for that. And we can able to download it. Or we can search for whether that image is available or not in the Docker registry by just typing that image name in the search bar. Right? You can able to. You can see when I go down, or for example, at the left side, right now I don't have any images. I have not done inserted any image. It's a new account I have created. Right now I don't have it. Okay, right? Now you will be having different images here. Okay, most pulled images: Memcached, Nginx, Busybox, Alpine, Postgres, MySQL image, Mongo image, right? Grafana image, Gradle image. Okay, right? There are many images are available. There are many publicly available images are available in the Docker registry. All the public images are available in the Docker registry, and you can search for the image and you can able to download it. How can you get it now? You can simply get it by using a command called docker pull. For example, if I say docker pull Ubuntu and if I press enter, this image is not available. It is pulling from Docker registry. That's called Docker hub. The command docker pull will only pull the image, but it doesn't run the image. Now it is not available in my machine. I have Hello World, I have OpenZipkin, I have Keycloak, 2 different versions. Okay, but Ubuntu is not there. So when I say docker pull Ubuntu, now it is going to pull one image called Ubuntu. Now if I say once again Docker images, okay, let me clear the screen. Docker space images. Now we can see in my images cache, Ubuntu is also available. Latest image, Ubuntu. Okay, the Ubuntu image is pulled from Docker registry. Docker pull is a command for that. Docker pull image name. Okay, Docker pull image. It will only pull the image from the Docker registry into local image cache. Now these are all the images available in my image cache locally. And if I want to list out all the locally stored images, I have a command called Docker images. Now I'm just going to do one thing. I'll be writing something like this now. Okay. This is not to display, only to pull a Docker image from Docker registry. Docker registry. Who is the Docker registry? The Docker registry is hub.docker.com. The command is Docker pull that image name. Docker pull that image name. And for example, you can write Docker pull some image name. For example, Nginx or a Tomcat, could be anything. Example, this will only pull a Docker image from Docker registry, then it will be stored into local image cache. but that image is not executed, of course. Next. If you run the docker run command, Docker run command will first search for the image available in the local registry. If not available in the local image cache, then it will pull, then it will execute so that container is created. Okay, right. First, let me talk about some commands with respect to images. So I told Docker images command, I told about Docker pull command. Now I'm going to talk about how to remove one image from the image cache. And for that, we have a command called Docker RMI, that is to remove a specific image. You can specify that image ID or image name. Anything. Every image has a unique ID. And you don't need to type the complete image ID. Just the first 4 characters of the image ID is enough. For example, now I want to remove this Ubuntu image. Then I'm writing Docker RMI. Now C3 5E. This is a Docker image ID. Sorry, the option is RMI. Now you got a message called deleted. Now once again, just check what are the images available locally in the image cache. Now you can see I don't have Ubuntu. That's clear. Once again, Docker images. Now Ubuntu is not there. Now I want to remove even hello world also. Now, for example, when I'm saying Docker RMI hello world, I can type the image name. Otherwise, I can also type its image ID. Just 4 characters of the image ID. First 4 characters are enough. I'm getting error response. Unable to delete hello world. It must be forced. Why? Ubuntu is immediately deleted, but hello world is not deleted. There is a reason for the reason is if you look at the containers, Docker PS is a command to see the running containers. But I don't have any running container right now, though there is no container is running on this host machine. But there is a container yesterday I have executed, but that was stopped. If you want to get the list of the containers, both running and stopped containers, then there is a command called Docker PS-A. Now this will list out, it will display all the containers, including exited containers or stopped containers. Actually, I have all stopped containers here, exited. The status is exited. These are exited containers. If why I am getting an error response for removing hello world? Because yesterday we have executed, so container is created. That container is stopped, but the container is not deleted. If a container is not deleted, then image will not be deleted. Right? Container is not deleted means image is not deleted. Right? Okay, now our requirement is we want to remove the image by forcibly. Because container is not deleted. Container exited means stopped, but container is not deleted. If the container is deleted, then image can be deleted. When there are no containers for that image can be deleted by using the command docker RMI. For example, I'll show you multiple times. We'll execute the commands. Okay. Now, so that you will get. See, I'm typing a once again command docker ps-a. Docker ps-a. Now you can see this is hello world. This is hello world. This is hello world. There are 2 containers. 23 hours ago, both are exited. Means container stopped. Okay, container stopped. And my requirement is now first I want to remove the Docker container. Now the container ID for this hello world is 7302. The first 4 letters 7302. Okay, Docker RM. RM means it is for container. Of course, I'll type all these commands. Just observe it. 7302. Now once again I'll show Docker PS space -a. Now you are not finding 7302, that container is deleted. Right. Now I also want to delete the other container that have started 3D39. This is the container ID. The first four letters is enough. The first four characters of the container ID. And now I'm going to type Docker RM. First, let's say Docker PS -A 3D39. Docker RM 3D39. Now, once again, if you say Docker space PS -A, if you execute this command, now you can see that that container is exited container got deleted. Now, when I say Docker images, containers are deleted, but image is still available in my local cache. Hello world. Now I can remove this image by using the command called Docker RMI. Docker RMI hello world. Either I can type the image name, otherwise image ID. Anyone is okay. Docker RMI image ID, otherwise image name. And now you can see the image got deleted. Previously I got error response, but now the image deleted. Which means to delete an image from your local image cache, first of all, that image should not contain any containers, including stopped containers. Including stopped containers. Now, if I say Docker images, you can't see the hello world image. From the local image cache, there is no hello world image. That hello world image is deleted because it does not have any containers, including stopped containers. Okay. So let me first type the commands here. Docker pull is a command I told. Next one, I'm going to talk about Docker RMI. Now the command is, it is not to display. Now you want to remove a specific image. Remove a specific image from local image cache. From the local image cache. The command to practice is Docker RMI, then image ID or image name. Image ID or image name. Okay, the best practice is with image ID because you no need of typing the complete image name. Just the first four letters of image ID is enough. Okay, example Docker RMI, for example, 3D39. Okay, these are the first four letters. The first four letters of image ID. The first four letters of image ID. Command is Docker space RMI, then image ID / image name, either image ID or image name. So you don't need of typing the complete image ID, just you can specify the first four letters of the image ID. Now this is a command for Docker RMI. That is to remove. To remove the image from the container. Sorry, image from the local image cache. Note, if the image has any running or stopped containers. If the image has any running or stopped containers, then image cannot be deleted with this command. It will generate error response. Image cannot be deleted and you are going to get the error response. The command Docker RMI 3D39. For example, if that image has already some running containers or stopped containers, then image cannot be deleted with this command. It will generate the error response. Now I'm going to show you once again. Let us go back. Assume that I don't have an image called hello world. Docker pull will only pull the image, but it will not run the image. If image is executed, then only when you run the image, then only container will be created. Now, for example, I'm writing Docker pull, only pull I'm using. Actually, we don't need to separately download the image and store it in local cache. We can directly use Docker run command. Mostly we don't use Docker pull command separately, but I want to show you one by one command. Okay, Docker pull, then hello space world, hello hyphen world. Okay, now pulling from library slash hello world and pull complete. Now you can see Docker images. Now again, I got back to hello world. But this image does not have any containers currently, either running containers or stopped containers. Now I want to run this image. If I want to run this image, now I can run this image by using either image name or image ID. The first four letters of image ID is also sufficient. So for example, I'm using a command docker space run, then space image name or image ID. For example, D4 AA. I'll get some response. This is the output. Hello from Docker. This is my Docker container. The container has created whenever you run the image. When you run the image by using image name or image ID, then a container is started. A container is created. Within the container, that application will run, and that is showing this message. This output of that application running in the Docker container. Okay, right. Now, what I'm trying to say now, if I say Docker PS, currently there are no running containers because that container has executed and stopped it. -A to see both running containers, including the stopped containers. Then we have a command docker ps-a. And when I type docker space ps-a, now you can see that this is a hello world. Okay, this is a hello world. The image ID is a D4AA, that is hello world. And the image container ID is 9A46. This is the container ID. This is the image ID. Just 56 seconds ago, it's created. The container has created and it is stopped. 55 seconds ago, it is stopped. Exited 55 seconds ago, created 56 containers created at 56 seconds ago, container stopped 55 seconds ago. Okay. This container is not executing now. It is exited container, stopped container. But still, I cannot remove that image. Okay. Now, what can I do now? I can say docker rmi space hello world. We'll get error response. Error response from daemon application, conflict, unable to delete. Must be forced. Because it has a container. This is a container ID. This is a container ID. The container ID is using its referenced image. Actually, this container is stopped, but even though stopped, it is still referring to the same image. Okay, so that's why if you want to forcibly do that, then docker rmi-f space hello-world. That's the image name or image ID also okay. Now you're using a command docker rmi-f. Now next command I'm typing docker images. Now we can see the docker images. You are not going to find any image called hello world because it is deleted. So -f means you are forcing. You want to forcibly remove that image even though its container is running or its container is stopped. Okay, if image is deleted, the question is its container also got deleted or not. And for that, again, let's see docker ps-a. Now you can see the container The container is in the list of the stopped containers. The container is in the list of stopped containers, but image deleted. So this image will be untagged with the container, and after that it is deleted. To remove the image only forcibly, okay, even though its container is running or even its container is stopped, then the command is docker space rmi -f, then image id or image name. Anyone you can type it. I'll tell you how to delete including the stopped containers. Don't worry. But first, we are just executing the commands one by one. Let's move on. Okay, observe here. If it is a simple hello world application, it is not a server application. If it is a server application, the container will run continuously. For hello world application, if you read like a system.out.println hello world application, you made it like a Docker image. What happens when you run the application? Automatically that application execution will be completed. Right. It is not a server application like executing on a server like a Tomcat or something to continuously run. Hello world application just printing hello world message. Automatically, the container will be stopped once application is stopped. Application execution is finished. But for server-side applications like web applications, they will never complete. They are waiting for the request from the client. And when the client makes the request, they will send a response to the client by processing the request. They will continuously run applications. Their containers also will run continuously. But for Hello World application, it won't run like that because Hello World is just only a console application just to display some message. So its container is automatically stopped. Once the application is completed, execution is completed, that container will automatically get stopped. Now the command is docker rmi -f. Next. Next. The command to remove the image from the local cache, even though its container is running or stopped. Even though its container is running or stopped. Then command is docker rmi -f. Forcibly you are doing that. Docker rmi -f. Then image name or image ID. Image name or image ID. Anyone is okay. You don't need of typing the complete image ID. Just only first 4 characters are enough. -f means forcibly doing that. Next. But the question comes here. Note. Only the image will be deleted, but its container will not be deleted. Only image will be deleted, but its container will not be deleted. So first you should have some clear idea on some of the important Docker commands. And today we are focusing on executing the Docker commands. Only the image will be deleted, but its container will not be deleted when you type docker rmi -f. Next. Once again, I'll do one thing. Docker ps -a. I'll type these commands also. First of all, display all the running containers. Only running containers, for example. Display all the running containers. To display all the running containers, command is a docker ps. Display both the running and the stopped containers. If you want to get all, both running and stopped containers, then the command is docker ps space -a. Docker ps -a. Okay, now I'm executing one command, docker ps-a. Actually, this is the hello world image ID, but that image is deleted, but its container is not deleted. Okay, for example, I want to remove this container, docker rm for container, rmi for image. Okay, 9A46. The first four characters of image ID is enough. 9A46. Docker space rm 9A46. 9A46. Okay, good. Now coming to the point. I'll tell you. Docker images. Docker images. It will show the list of images available. Hello world image is not there. Hello world image is not there. Okay. Now my requirement is, I want to remove the container and image both. Okay, container and image. I want to remove the container and also I want to remove the image. Image, container, both I want to remove. Okay. So I want to delete all the stopped containers and also those images. They are called dangling images. Dangling images means once its containers are deleted, they are going to become like a dangling image. Okay. So then for that we have a command, docker system prune. Okay. Look at this. First, again, I want to show the command. First, I want to run hello world. Actually, I'm writing hello world. The hello world is the name of the image. Initially, to play with the Docker commands, this image is better. Docker run hello world. But actually, this image is not available in the local image cache in my machine. So this image gets downloaded from the Docker registry. That is called Docker registry or Docker centralized repository. Hello world. Okay. And because of the run command, first this image gets pulled, will be stored into local image cache and it will execute. So container is created. Inside the container, hello world application will execute. And once hello world application is executed, the container gets stopped because its work is done. The application is stopped. Application execution is completed means container is stopped. So I'm using command docker run hello world. So when I use a docker run command, first it is pulling the image, then image gets stored into local cache, then it's executing the image. We got some response from it. Both are completed. Pull means only pull, but run means it will pull, then execute as well. A container is created for that. And inside the container, hello world application is executed. It has shown this message. And once this message is printed, its work is completed, that container is stopped. Now my requirement is, I want to delete. I want to show you docker ps-a. Okay, I want to now my docker ps-a means what? All exited containers are available. I don't have any running container. All these containers are exited. Right now, there is no container executing. I have different containers are stopped here. One is key clock and one is open zipkin, something like that. Some images have used. So these are exited. Now I am typing command docker system prune. This is like a cleaning all, deletes all the stopped containers and also the dangling images. I'm using a command called docker system prune. Okay. Now, warning, this will remove all stopped containers, all networks not used by at least one container, all dangling images, unused build cache. Are you sure you want to continue? For example, if I say why, yes, the command is docker system prune. So totally 1.5 GB space is reclaimed from my host machine. Okay. Now I'm trying to say the command docker space images. Docker space images. Okay. Now I got the list of images. When I say docker ps-a, but you can see previously I got 6, 7 exited images here. The status exited, exited, exited like this. But now when I type the command docker ps-a, all those containers got deleted. All those containers got deleted. Okay, now it is deleting. System prune means it is deleting all the containers, stopped containers. Now you want to delete everything like stopped containers and also images. Here images are not deleted because I want images, I'm not deleting them. So then there is a command called docker system prune -a. Look at this. Now you want to delete all the stopped containers at one go. First of all, how to delete a stopped container? How to delete a stopped container? Delete a stopped container. Delete a stopped container. The command is docker rm, not rmi, just rm. RMI for image, RM for container. Okay, docker rm space container ID. Container ID. Okay. Container has no name, container ID. We can give container name also when we are running the container. When you're running the image, container will be created. And if you want to give a name for that, we can also set the name. But by default, container does not have a name. It has only ID. A unique ID will be there for each container. Okay. So docker rm container ID. This is to remove a stopped container, a specific container. But if you want to delete all stopped containers, delete all stopped containers. Then the command is docker system prune. Docker system prune. Next, for example, I want to delete not only the containers, I want to delete all stopped containers and also images, unused images. Means I want to delete everything which is not currently in use. Containers are stopped means they are not in use. Means I want to delete all the stopped containers and also unused images, including unused images. Delete all stopped containers and also unused images. Okay, then the command is docker system prune -a. Docker system prune -a. Delete all the stopped containers and also unused images. The command is docker system prune -a. Okay, right. Docker run command, that is to run the container. Docker run command. So of course, I have not given in the list. So now, okay, now the next command that I want to say, how to run. Okay, how to run an image by using command called docker run. Okay, if you want to create and start the container, then the command is docker run, docker space run, then image. But actually, docker run command has multiple options. So when we are going to discuss with how dockerizing a Spring Boot application, at that time that we are going to use multiple options: -d for detached mode, -p for port mapping. Okay, and we can assign a custom name to the container by using name option, -d, -p, double hyphen name, like that. Okay, right. So, but there is a command called docker run, that is to create and start a new container from an image. Create and start a new container from an image or by using an image. What's the command to do that? There is a command called docker run then image. Image name or image ID. You can type either image name or image ID, anyone. Docker run image ID or image name. Okay, right. Let's move on to understand it. Okay, if you have image, then you can create a container. Okay, from that image. Okay, to create the container or to start the container, a new container, image is required. That's it. Container is executing. That's it. Image is built, and when you run the image, container is started. Once a container started out of the image, that container and this image both are independent. Of course, when you're running the container, image